So I had this dream. This is my dream journal. Could you tell? I kept having the same dream. I went and met these people. I knew a girl. I knew a guy. Another guy. Somebody that come over to an apartment. It was over there. It was far away. I don't know where. But I think I drove there in a different dream and how far away it was because the stuff around it was the same. Because I've been showing up in places I don't recognize. One I think was Paris, which I recognized because I came down from the sky, landed on the side of the Eiffel Tower, and then the Hitler dream. So in this dream, I met the people, I'm talking to the girl, all this stuff, and I already woke up. But when I walked into my dad's room and looked at the news said, an empty apartment, blah, 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 and people were moving into it. It's like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm already. Because it still happens, every damn thing in my dream. I watched one of Charlie White's videos, and he was talking about somebody was cheating playing chess. He said they were sticking a vibrating anal beads up their ass. That's how they were getting the signals. You need something? No? Okay. Neither do I. I was going to flip it. It's not time. Yeah, we'll stop. He said the guy had, well, they assume, because there's some sort of sockfish thing that you put and you could communicate using vibrating signals. It was like, because the guy beat the chess player. It was very weird. It was chess. And in the dream, I watched him scan the guy with the wands. Now, I saw that in my dream, because they had a line of tanks just coming all over the field, and I stopped the car I was driving and got out and just started walking because I didn't want to get pulled over and get arrested. A normal tactic of mine is to pull over and then not be pulled over in the car. I'll stop and park my car to save it from possible seizure and such. Just saying, it's my thinking. But no, they weren't worried about me. Now in this dream, I went right back into the dream again. I was talking to the girl. I was going to get this girl's phone number. She just started writing nines. So I'm like, no, that's the first thing. I think I was trying to roll a doober. And I opened the bag. I put my hand in there. The bag broke. It cracked and it fell on the floor. And it was on the floor. Now, I'm at my mom's house. Now, my mom in my dream isn't my mom. She doesn't act like my mom. She just acts like somebody that looks like my mom that I know, and then I follow her. Or she follows me to wherever we go. That's all that's ever happened like my mom. No communicating, no nothing, no word come out of her head. You know. It appears to be my mom. And that's it. So I went back to our old house where we used to live. I had a different bed in the room. Nice. Went around the corner, the weed. I went around the other corner of the bed, plugged in my phone. I was just about to make the corner and come into this bathroom to take a shower, which doesn't fit the house, because at that house there was a bedroom, not a bathroom, and it was just very strange. But I had that dream. That was my dream. Now flip that bacon. I am. Extra crispy. Get some of those eggs. I'm also doing one. So I'm trying to make this video, which I'm sure it can hear me. It doesn't have to see my face. What the hell are you opening this? Very special container. Oh. Oh, we're not saving these. I'll put them back in here. No, don't do that. Oh, okay. Don't know that. Better pause that. Now I want to add this next video, and I'm going to put what I'm watching because I watched it the other night, and I was locked into it. I listened to every word he said. I'm very interested in it. I didn't know some of the things because of some of the name changes. I didn't know that they changed certain names of things in the 1800s for the purpose of fucking us up. Because that's really all that they ever do, is they immediately make the people that don't know think something else when they hear it. So that's the key. All right, we're back.
And that was on his thinking when he made this Copernican revolution. Excuse me, and just to get that into perspective, that the question, identity, the existence of God was actually prior to Nietzsche. In fact, one could say that these later people were mere commenters, really. Good things to say. But it's mostly just a sort of footnoting and commentary of something that had already happened maybe 100 years before. And again, as I said earlier, it's Kant's thinking that really opens the modern age, not Nietzsche, not the modernists. It's what we're talking about right now. So making no mistake about that, this is a very, very important thing. Nietzsche, as I said, Schopenhauer, these types are more mulling over with intelligent and interesting and witty things to say. But just in philosophy, it doesn't start with them. That's not quite true. But the thing we want to talk about is this. In Kant's metaphysics, so to speak, and again, he's thinking very much of the structure of the brain now, right? Things have moved forward. We're not in the medieval think. So what do we really know about biology and psychology and all of that? So with that in mind, he separated the worlds. He said there's two realms to worry about here. Previous philosophers hadn't really spoken about in this level of detail. Right? A lot of his thought goes back to Plato, but he has a new twist on it. There's the realm, I apologize for some of the phraseology, there's the realm of
Phenomenal.
Things we see every day, we experience. And that is the world of appearances. That turns up a lot in philosophy. Appearance. There's a world all around us that we acknowledge, we recognize, we move through it, but it's really a world of appearances, right? And of course, that means to do with things like perception. We're not going to get into all of that, right? But just the fact that you have five senses, and those five senses register not a real world, said Kant, but a world that's largely appearances. And then there's another realm separate to that he called the realm of things in themselves. Right, things in themselves. There's a slight modification. We'll get to that in a minute. But just for now, the thing to understand is that this noumenal world, he invented the word phenomenal. The word we use every day is phenomenal. He invented, and to counterpoint it, he had this word noumenal. Noumenal, noumenal. Now, this noumenal world of things in themselves off limits to our intellect.
No, it's all. Is it all?
This would say, yeah, well, so what? A lot of things are unknown to us. That's why we're scientists. Reason and intellect will eventually, uncover it, just like all of our discoveries. But Kant said, no, you didn't listen to me. I didn't say unknown. I said unknowable.
Watch out.
Of the two worlds, we have the world of appearances, which is where science's purview is. And science works great with that, the world of appearances and uncovering that and investigating it and looking into it, inquiring and having the curiosity. But the noumenal world that's set off from this is completely screened off and is never going to be known. We can know nothing about it except maybe that it exists. That's the bottom line. You can know that it exists by intuition and by working it out logically. But we have to also at the same time realize that there are limits to reason, limits to intellect. And that is the limit. You're not going to be able to enter into anything or really understand anything about it. So it's not, this is the key thing to understand. It's not unknown. Things in our world may be unknown. Knowable. Like remarkable. And in many ways,
I was
you know,
having
it
the
is
flashback
Platonic.
from my
You remember
dream.
Plato
I was
talked
having
about
those
higher levels of
bags of
forms,
drugs with
right? Which is sort of the archetypal
detritus in the background because it
antecedents
fell out.
to our world. We have these
Bag that
shadowy
just
forms.
shattered.
We have these shadowy appearances,
Oh,
same
that's
thing.
creepy.
But at least Plato grants that,
Man.
hey, if God wanted it,
Man.
the sage, the one who's cleansed themselves, can know a bit about the forms. He can, you know, the Socrates sort of sage can have access to that higher thought.
See, this is why, and I was so early hooked into this. You know, one, Elvis shirt, that's a trigger. Why? Do you like Elvis? No, I don't. I don't like Elvis. I don't dislike Elvis either. I just don't think he's the king of rock and roll. And I'm pretty solid on that opinion. But he's talking about the sage needing to clean themselves to be able to access that world. And I was taking it as very personal, and thus I still am, because when I ran this back and was trying to explain what my experience was to other person other than self, father, I couldn't articulate it for at all. I know that I caught what was said, fought with it with my mind to take some in and to put some back. Now, maybe that happens all the time. Maybe when you're just casually looking at something, your mind's already doing it in and out like that. I'm not entirely sure. But by the end of it, I mean, I continue to try to get video of where I was, pieces of it, into the end of the night. And then I watched a whole nother damn show, and it just got worse. Because it was the Higher Side Chats with Richard Dolan, whose voice stands out, his career stands out. He's like, everything about him, I can't confuse him for anyone else. And his wife looks like one of my in-laws. She's kind of hot. She's a remote viewer. Yeah, so there you go.
The noose, as Plato called it. Kant is saying, no, you can't. Permanently locked into the world of appearances, and that's it. So there's a big difference, right? So this sort of, you know, gave pause to people. Is there something really that's beyond the intellect, that no amount of scientific progress ever going to be, you know, screened off from this? And then the great statement that he made, that, you know, is again one of these awesome statements that change philosophy, is that since this is the case, and since I've delineated the limits of reason and the intellect, I am right to, and he said, clip the wings of reason and make way for faith.
Hold on. I got to bring Michael into this. I mean, Matt. This is where I'm going to put Matt in. Because I listened to Matt and what he was talking about on his. Usually the worst case scenario, it could be the worst gang stalking you can get from yourself. But he spent so much extra time talking about voicemail. Here you go, you son of a bitch. Hold on.
Such as people would say.
Now this made it into the dream, but I've stopped there. I don't care about their real ID. I don't care about that. I don't know why. And I hope it takes them another 13 fucking years for it to be on. Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Apps, craft beer, and designer drugs, of which I'm mostly talking about the technology, of course. But it doesn't filter down into how we're living our lives. But that's just normal to people. Matt, you're a conspiracy person. What if it was 100 years from now and we're living the same way, basically we're living in the 70s? See what I'm saying?
I didn't ever live in the 70s.
I'm gonna get more conspiratorial as this goes on, even with something as simple as when you call. I'm gonna get back to this, but let me do these other big ones first. When you call a voicemail, I don't know if it's Verizon or the main carriers, still say something like, what is it? You have reached an automated message machine, or the party, and the person would say their name, or there's a whole 25-second thing to listen to, or whatever it may be.
So my lightning fast awareness kicked on the same day he would have been making this, and I called mine. I hadn't seen this video yet. I called mine. I pressed the buttons it says. I went through the list, but I didn't take the state my name part of the list. I didn't do that. I took the extra options list to see and discover what the fuck they were. Now, what I find out is that I can group message, but you have to set it up. So I went to set it up, and it says pick 11 through 40 for the numbers. Well, you can't pick 11. You can't pick 40. And it ends up with 20, and I never pressed 20. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And that's what it is. And I'm not ever going to send one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. If it still continues to let me, I'm going to make sure it has my fucking voice right fucking now. And that'll be my video. And if it cuts off, then you know why it did it. All right? Now, I have done a lot of different stuff with my apps because, as you can see, I've got the brain waves, which I use. They affect my life on the apps. I have my job. It affects my life. I have the real brain waves, real binaural, and they are. I have my memories. Let's go through some memories real fast. Hold on before I jump the fuck out of here. Oh, they're gone. Where's the option? No, they're not. Here they go. Let's see where we were. Let's time travel. Before I get all willy-nilly and shit. I thought that was a pyramid ship. Because it is. It's yours. Good. Good. I like that. I made that for a friend of mine out of the psychotronic generator that's running right now outside the window. That's where I was just sitting many years ago. I guess we already had that furniture. I ordered that from, that's a really cool thing, especially that one. You can never put that motherfucker back together. Can't be done. Can't do it. It doesn't happen. There's our chickens again. See, they just got murdered, and I didn't know that the door was open. I just thought it was weird they were on the porch.
There's the moo cow. Got that moo cow.
And with this tool, you can plasma off your face. Be advised. And that's all I got. That's the Corona typewriter. Did you know that? Alright, you're going? Yeah, I'm going. Alright. Where's my voicemail? It'll probably cut it off. Now hold on, where's the voicemail? Hey, you son of a bitch. Why is there no voicemail? Why doesn't it say voicemail? Because you fucking stupid. Your mama. I don't know if I want auto sync on. Do I have the voicemail number in the phone? What's going on here? Okay, well, never mind. I'll do it offline.